Hello everyone and welcome to Veteran Gaming. I am Aaron and today we're going to talk about Elden Ring. Now this video is going to be a bit of a follow-up to my Power Hour guide for the astrologer character that'll help you get a mage going in just an hour. So if you haven't seen that video, now might be a good time to go ahead and load it up and give it a watch real quick. Then you can come back here for the next set of tips and tricks that's going to get your mage to the next level. This video isn't going to be quite as step-by-step as the Power Hour was. This is just going to give you some general items, equipment, spells, everything you need in the next couple of areas that'll keep you progressing and heading for the ultimate goal of just making it rain magic on everybody. If you don't want one item specifically, that's fine too. Just go ahead and skip to the next one. This is all just options out there that'll hopefully help you make a character you love playing. And just another reminder, guys, please click the subscribe button and the like if you like the content. Just a couple clicks for you, but life-changing for me. So with that being said, have fun and good luck. So my first recommendation after completing the Power Hour or doing something similar to get your character started is to just go ahead and explore. Just get lost in the game a little bit. Don't get like Caelid lost, but get lost in Limgrave. Get lost in the Weeping Peninsula. Just start clearing out caves, clear out catacombs, go have some fun with your character, and also earn those runes, get a couple more levels. That way, when you're going into actually face the boss in Stormvale Castle, and then continuing into Liurnia of the Lakes, you guys have a strong understanding of your character, and you've actually made your character stronger by getting a little extra runes and some levels. The first item I'm going to recommend picking up is a melee weapon. Now, typically, we just want to stand back and lob magic sorceries at everybody, but every once in a while there are going to be some situations where we're in close and we don't really have any options. Or, frankly, if we're just fighting dogs, rats, or something, we can use a sword and shield combo. That way we're not using FP, we're more sustainable, and fighting with sword and shield for some of those more annoying enemies is actually much easier than even trying to sit back and lob magic at them. So, one of the best weapons for an intelligence main character is the Carrion Knight's sword, and we can grab it pretty easily and quickly from Liurnia of the Lakes. So, we're going to want to jump to the foot of the four belfries on the west side of Liurnia of the Lakes. If you don't have that waypoint yet, check out the map. You can just run to the west side of the main body of water for the most part up north, and eventually you'll kind of get to where you need to go. But we're going to go through a little army camp, and once we get through the army camp, we're going to see two trolls and a whole bunch of little dudes around a carriage. What we need to do is take those guys out, take the trolls out. That way we can get to the Carrion Knight's sword, which is inside the carriage. This thing is a great little short sword that has intelligence on the scaling, so that's really nice considering that's what we have. So other than another sword later in the game, which I might talk to you about, this is pretty much the best and for sure the easiest options to get. And since we're talking about grabbing weapons, let's go ahead and grab a bow and a set of arrows also. Even though sorcery is for the most part ranged, you cannot disarm traps with it like you can with a bow and arrow. And also, bow and arrow have a little bit better range, and you can Kentucky windage to get shots to drop that you can't necessarily do with sorcery. So considering it's just a couple of thousand runes with the bow and the arrows, I'm going to recommend grabbing one real quick. The best place to go is just to the Church of Ella. Go ahead and run to the west, down the coast, onto the beach, continue south a little bit, and you'll find a merchant there under a rock. He has the bow, arrows. You can just go ahead and pick those up real quick. While we're in Limgrave, let's go ahead and grab the Royal House Scroll, which is a spell book we can use to learn some more sorceries. If you don't know where that is, go ahead and teleport to the Agheel Lake South waypoint. And just to the east of that is an army camp at the top of a hill. Go ahead and fight through some baddies. There's a sorcerer up on top of one of the monuments, and he has the Royal House scroll right next to him. Let's go ahead and grab that. That way we can learn some more sorceries down the road. After grabbing that scroll, I do recommend we just jump to the Waypoint Ruins just to the north if you haven't already done that. We got to take out a giant plant and then jump over a rock wall, which will take us down into a little dungeon. There we get to take out a giant pumpkin head, which is pretty easy at this point. And that's going to unlock a back room with the sorceress Selene. She is a major quest line for astrologer and mage type characters. So not only is she going to sell us some sorceries right away, but she has a quest line which is really important. So let's make sure we knock this out real quick. It's kind of hidden, so it's not so straightforward. So here we go. Make sure we get Selene because we're going to need to talk to her quite a bit later on. When you guys are kicking around in the Weeping Peninsula, make sure you check out the Demi-Human Forest Ruins. There's I don't know if you want to call her a boss, but there is a large demi-human there that you can take out just easy breezy. And she's going to give you a staff, which you don't really need that much, but also the Crystal Burst Sorcery, which is not too shabby. It can be used with a lot of the other crystal type sorceries down the road. So not a game changer, but always nice to have one in your arsenal. Now my recommendation for all these scrolls and spellbooks, whatever you want to call them, that you're picking up as you're playing through the game is to give them to the Turtle Pope. And if you don't know who the Turtle Pope is, he's in Liurnia of the Lakes. He's in a church. He's on the eastern side, a little bit north. And if you just run up that eastern bank, you're eventually going to find him. I have the route here. It's quite a bit sped up because it's a little bit of running. But I give this guy all of my spell books because, to my knowledge, he never moves. And a lot of the other NPCs typically move from time to time or die. Like, nobody hurts the Turtle Pope. He's the Turtle Pope. So I give my sorcery books to the Turtle Pope, and I think you should too. So follow the route on the screen to find the Turtle Pope if you haven't already found him. Point in my playthrough, I went ahead and cleared out Stormvale Castle, taking out all the bosses, everything in there. The one item I want to say that you should probably grab is the Crimson Hood. I have a little bit of the route there on the screen, the room that it's found in and everything. This actually gives you a boost of vigor, which gives you more health points, which is never a bad thing. It's very lightweight, so it's a nice little bonus for really no negatives at this point in the game. So I highly recommend you grab that and increase your survivability. The next area we're going to talk about is the Carrion Manor, which is in the northwest corner of Liurnia of the Lakes. A couple of things on the way that we want to talk about. We want to stop and talk to the Master Smith G real quick. He's going to give us access to some somber smithing stones, which is always nice, and he can upgrade any armaments if we need them. Also along the way, just to the west of the entrance to the Carrion Manor, there's going to be another graveyard. A couple of rats in there with one giant rat, but take them out real quick, and then you can go ahead and get some golden runes, which will help you down the road, obviously. Once we've gone ahead and talked to those guys, then you want to go inside of Carrion Manor. Carrion Manor is actually a pretty large area with several waypoints inside. There's some good stuff in there, a cookbook here and there. I'm going to talk about one specific item later, but the problem is it's filled with the hands, the little hands that you can see, and then every once in a while one of those giant hands will jump out and squish you, which is just awful, and it scares you every time. If you say it doesn't, you're a dirty liar. One thing I can recommend, if you have anything in your build that uses fire, or you make fire pots or something, fire arrows, any of that kind of stuff, it really messes up those big hands. They actually flop around, and it gives you some time to get in some good hits. So I didn't do a full guide here on Carrion Manor. It's a large area, a lot of items inside it. I'm going to recommend that a lot of it you're probably not really going to need that badly, but I will talk about one item that you should grab while you're in here specifically because it's pretty easy and can be a very powerful weapon down the road. So after you get the Manor lower level waypoint, you're going to go out onto a walk. That's actually, I don't know why they call it lower level because you're already on like the second floor basically, but go ahead and take that path, take the first left you can, follow it a little bit further, and when you get to the end, just before the large pillar, you can see that you can jump down on the left to the rooftops. All right, jump down, follow the path you see on the screen there, and it's going to lead you to the Sword of Night and Flame, which initially was essentially a cheat code for the game. They've dialed it back a little bit, but it's still a faith and dexterity based weapon that has 2 Ashes of War that are incredibly powerful. The intelligence one is a laser, basically, and the faith version is a sweeping fire AoE attack. They're both very good. The weapon itself is still very good, even though it got nerfed a little bit. But I would grab it while you're in here because you never know if you're going to want to try to play around with it later on. As you continue in Carrion Manor, eventually you're going to get to the very top after you pass some dogs and some trolls and some night guys. You're going to get to the very top and you're going to fight Royal Knight Loretta with your summons and your rock sling. It shouldn't be too big of an issue. But then Royal Knight Loretta is going to drop Loretta's Great Bow, which is an awesome sorcery. It hits from really far away. You can charge it up for better damage. It's a really solid spell that you're going to want to utilize. You also get the Ash of War Loretta's Slash and like 10,000 runes. So it's a pretty good deal all in all. Pretty good mini boss to take out. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and collect the waypoint, and then we're going to continue a little bit higher and outside. After you've defeated Loretta, you're going to continue up to the Three Sisters area and specifically head northwest to Ranni's Rise. There you're going to head up and talk to Ranni and begin her quest line. This is probably the most important quest line for a mage type character. The rewards at the end are really, really powerful. And it's a great quest in general. It sends you a bunch of cool places. You got to do some cool things. So I don't want to give away a whole lot of spoilers. If you need a little help, I currently don't have a guide, but there's tons of guides out there. But make sure you go talk to Ranni. Do not skip this quest. It's way too important. The rewards are way too powerful. So make sure you go up there and get that started. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the actual Raelicaria Academy, which is the next main story boss. Again, feel free to bounce around anywhere in Liurnia at this point, get a little lost, take out some mini-bosses, get some rewards, get some runes, get some levels. It's going to continue helping you. This isn't a linear guide, it's just some stuff out there that you should grab for this type of character. So, that being said, again, if you don't already have the key, follow the path on the screen to get the key to enter Raelicaria. It's hiding behind the dragon. You don't have to find the dragon at this point. You can just run up and grab it. So, if you got the key and you're ready to go to the academy, let's go. Once you guys have used the key and entered the academy, make sure when you first get to that waypoint that's right in front of you, head off to the right. Do not activate the barrier, just simply run through it, and there's actually a golden seed down there. I don't know, I didn't know about it for a long time, it's kind of hidden, but just run down there, grab that golden seed real quick. One of the sorceries that you want to pick up while you're running around the academy is fighting the Onyx Lord, and after you defeat him, he should give you the sorcery Gravity Well. Just a nice little sorcery that you can use later on. So go ahead and make sure you take him out to get that sorcery before you head up the spinning wheelie thing to the next level. After you grab the next grace, go ahead and enter the next area, head left. You can actually break through a false wall there. Gonna get a somber smithing stone, follow the path around, get some Trina's lily. But the most important thing is at the end of the little path you follow around is the not gonna work here anymore. You get a Glenstone crown that's gonna give you added intellect if you wear it, which is always a nice little bonus for a mage. Trying to keep this semi-spoiler free. After you fight a giant four-legged thing, you're going to get another grace waypoint. And then as soon as you exit that area, continuing on, hook a hard right. There's going to be a path that leads to a ladder. It's going to take you up to the balcony loft area above where you just had the fight, I believe. But you're going to get a very important talisman up there, which can increase your casting speed. So you're going to want to snag the Ratagon icon for sure, because it's going to fill in much better than the little bonus HP or whatever you're currently using. Unfortunately, in this next part, I actually cut the footage where I picked up the Twin Sage Glenstone crown, so my apologies to everybody, but I'm just going to tell you where it is real quick. From the Church of Cuckoo, Site of Grace, grab the ladder to the second floor. When you climb it, head around east to the balcony, you climb down, and there's going to be like a crystallized crab. He's going to be like glowing. He's impossible to miss. But when you kill him, then you can go ahead and get the Twin Sage Glenstone crown that he drops. This gives you an even higher intelligence bonus than the other crown I just told you about, to the detriment of HP and stamina. So if you have a little bit of HP and stamina and can afford it, throw this bad boy on, because it will give you even more intelligence. After you've got the crown, go ahead and continue the route on the screen. It's going to end in a fight with a page, I think they call him. He's got an explosive crossbow. He's very difficult, so use your surroundings best you can to get him in close, and then use your sword and shield if you have to, mix with spells. He's a bit of a bear, but you can get it. And the reward at the end of the tunnel that he is protecting is Azur's Glintstone's staff, which is pretty nice. I personally don't use it because it boosts gravity sorcery, but increases the cost of all of your spells, which I don't love, especially this early in the game. But the fact that it boosts your gravity spells is kind of nice, and you can pair it with the meteorite staff, and you can do some serious damage. But the Azur's Glintstone staff, again, it does boost to gravity sorcery. It also reduces the casting time of all sorceries, but consumes additional FP. So use it if you like. I personally don't, but every staff has its area where it excels and shines. So pick it up, keep it around. And the last thing I'll give you guys for this video is southwest of the Tomb Sword ruins in the Weeping Peninsula, there's an Everjail. If you take out the ancient hero of Zamor there, you can get Ratagon's Scar Seal, which is going to increase several of your statistics, but make you take more damage. So again, it's kind of a nice little bonus to some stuff like Vigor. So it's going to balance out that damage loss a little bit with a bonus to Vigor, but you're also theoretically not getting hit a ton as a mage, so increasing your endurance and your Vigor, maybe you get some better armor. I personally use it, but that's a trade-off that you're going to have to figure out if you want to take or not. And remember, talismans can be slotted in and out at will. Keep them all on you, that way you can trade them in and out per fight. The biggest thing you don't want to get caught in this game is becoming static. It's really going to make you struggle, because you'll one-shot one boss and struggle for 2 hours on another, because you're not changing around your gear, your equipment, your incantations, your sorceries, whatever. Do not get static. Move your stuff around if you get stuck, and I'm sure you're going to come through. So that's going to wrap up the video, guys. Please, this video took a long time to make, so give it a thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and please, please, please hit the subscribe button. It's going to help me out and give me the chance to make more content for you guys. As always, have fun and good luck.